Hey y'all, it's Amanda, and for Mother's Day, I spent some time out in the garden. And out in the garden, I was really thinking about all the moms out there, all the women wanting to be moms, all the people who have lost and loved, and all of those women who step into the mother roles without being asked. And I just want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. Motherhood looks very different for a lot of different people, and I want to celebrate everyone. So I hope you guys had an enjoyable, restful, peaceful Mother's Day. And I certainly enjoyed my time with my little family. Now, today I'm working on the west side garden. I'm continuing going through little bit by little bit in these gardens. I already did it in the front and now going down the side. This garden gets very strong west side sun from about 1 o'clock on, and it is flourishing. This garden is just doing beautifully. Now, I am starting with the Verbena bonarensis, and I am giving it a little bit of a haircut. I'm cutting it above sets of 2 leaves so that it can expand and put off more shoots. But this grew very quickly this year, quicker than it usually does. And if I don't give it a little bit of haircut, it will all fall over in the windstorms that we get, especially with all of our rain that we're getting. And in fact, we ended up getting 2 inches of rain later that weekend when I was working. So I'm just going to be working little bit by little bit through this garden, weeding, pruning, and I'll chat with y'all with what I'm doing along the way. Now I'm going to be trimming some bushes. This right here is a boxwood. This boxwood and the other one I'm going to trim were originally right directly in front of the house. The builders put them in, and they're one of the first things I moved. I moved them to a different place. They have flourished in this location. I do not give them any kind of fertilizer. They get water from all the other drip lines in the area, and I really don't mess with them much at all. And they are lovely and beautiful. And so I'm just giving them a light haircut, just shaping them up for the season. Usually when I give them a haircut, within a couple of months, they burst forth with a bunch of beautiful new growth. And then I might touch them up a little bit in the fall. Now this next shrub I'm working on is a double bridal wreath spirea, and it has already bloomed out this season. It had beautiful white gorgeous flowers and it was lovely. And this bush can get really, really big, so I always give it a massive haircut after it blooms and then allow it to fill in for the whole rest of the growing season, and then it gives me blooms next year. Now I only give this guy a haircut once a year right after blooming. After that, I do not give it any more haircuts because you will get blooms on the old growth. So I need to let all of this fill in, grow back over the season so that next year, all that growth that's going to happen this season becomes next year's old growth. and that is where we will get all the blooms from. But I give it a big, nice haircut because I have a lot of sun-loving plants in this area, and it can shade them out a little too much. And so I do enjoy doing this particular shrub. It's such a transformation when I cut it back each season. I'm also doing a little bit of hand pruning on my Ruby Falls Weeping Redbud. I just want to open it up a little bit so that the plants underneath it can get the sun it needs. I like to keep this Ruby Falls Weeping Redbud in an umbrella shape. I know a lot of people don't like that. I always get some interesting comments whenever I'm trimming this back, but this guy has been here for a lot of years. He is very happy and he does really great with all the pruning, and it really opens up everything underneath. So now underneath it, I have a lot of daffodils, and they have been done blooming for, gosh, multiple months now, and all the leaves are falling over, so I'm going to be cutting those back at the ground. I'm also going to be working on pulling up some Bermuda grass along the way. Now, once I am cutting back these daffodil bulbs, it will start to reveal lots of sun-loving plants, including coneflower and sunburst coreopsis. Okay, as I'm removing these daffodil leaves, I'm finding that my sunburst coreopsis has gotten super leggy because it was growing through those leaves, and then it was trying to grow around the canopy of the weeping redbud. So I'm going to give these a really nice trim back to about 6 to 8 inches above the ground, and they will regrow. So you can see how leggy they got because they had so much shade. And I grew these sunburst coreopsis from seed last year. This is the first season they are blooming, y'all, and look at these bonkers plants. First season they're blooming from seed. Absolutely amazing. I would like to grow more. I am thinking that perhaps this location is not the best location for these coreopsis, but now is not the time to move them. I would be moving them in the fall. So I'm going to give them a trim back and a nice little refresh, and they will give me another round of blooms. And they should give me a couple of rounds of blooms throughout the season. And then I'll kind of think about if I want to move them somewhere else, or I'll see how they react to this pruning and the rest of the season and decide if they should just stay here. Now I'm moving on to the other side, which is another double bridal wreath spirea. And ironically, the one on the left that I already trimmed a couple of years ago, it had a big, massive portion of it die off, and I had to cut it off, and it was really straggly, and it has come back full force. So this is actually the first time in a couple of years that these are relatively the same size. So I'm really excited to get in here and see all the healthy and growth on all these, and understanding that I don't have any big dead parts. So hopefully I've gotten through whatever that issue was with that original spirea, and nothing passed on to this one that I'm currently working on. Now I'm moving on to another portion of the garden. This little 5-foot section here, I'm thinking it's still kind of a mess. I'm not sure if these are the right plants that I want for this location, but I will continue thinking on it. Those big leaf ones to the left side of the screen are thistle, and you can actually see one of the bloom stalks sticking out with all the thistle on it. I grew that from bare root. And then right here, I'm giving a little haircut to some dianthus right here. I'm not sure this dianthus is all that happy here either. I don't know. I kind of thinking about switching out a lot of this portion of the garden for more natives, because this gets so much sun in this area. I think that that would be helpful. But yeah, just giving the dianthus a little bit of a haircut, and then I'm also going through and removing Bermuda grass and weeds from throughout the entire space. You're going to see me flipping the dianthus back. You can see how I'm very carefully kind of pulling it up, and it allows me to find the base of the Bermuda grass and pull it up as needed. And then I'm also going to go ahead and stake this thistle bloom stalk. Now I'm diving into this autumn sunrise bearded iris, and y'all, it smelled so bad. This plant smelled like rot. And as I got further in, I found that the bloom stalks, a lot of them were rotted and mushy and nasty. And I don't know if I've just never cleaned this, like cleaned out the bloom stalks this early, or I usually let them dry out more, or if something has happened. The rhizomes look fine, the leaves look fine, most of the bloom stalks look fine, but there were a few when I pulled on them. See that one right there? Nasty. It was nasty, and it was rotting, and the rotting juice got all over my gloves, and oh my gosh, the smell was just terrible, absolutely terrible. I think the plant is okay. I think it was just the bloom stalks. I don't know. I would love y'all's opinions and thoughts. I should have showed you one of the rotting bloom stalks. I just didn't think about it at the time. I was just trying to make it through the smell of the entire thing. Yeah, but this has never happened to me before with the bearded iris. So those of y'all with a little more experience or might know, is it anything to worry about or am I good? So I removed all the rotting parts, so hopefully it doesn't continue and hopefully it doesn't affect the actual rhizomes. Okay, I'm giving a little haircut to this little bitty boxwood. I didn't bring the whole big mama pruners down. I'm just using this little handheld one. I'm hoping this guy grows up and gets nice and big and full and takes up a lot of space, but we're still a few years away from that. I do have a couple of evergreen shrubs tucked into this area, which I think is nice. I'm actually really happy with this front, well, not front, but this side curve area. It is chocked full of plants, lots of natives, salvias, black-eyed Susans, and it really ages well throughout the seasons. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think there's a few places that I can remove plants and replace with different items along the way, which I think would be really great. You're going to see me doing a lot more work on this Bermuda grass, and this is where I start to hit a wall. It was only 85 degrees outside, but I mean, I was in full sun and it was hot, y'all. And once I sat down to start on this Bermuda grass, my energy just really started to wane. And one of the things I'm doing this year is I'm trying not to push myself too far in the garden. I'm trying to work until I'm tired. And I probably should have stopped right here. I continued on another 15 minutes, which was probably too much. But I did finish up this front little curve. I didn't make it all the way down the west side of the garden, but I did make some progress. I ended up standing up and realizing that this red bud right here needed to be trimmed up, and I had staked it last year. This originally was a golden falls weeping redbud that broke at the base a few years ago, and then it put off new growth, and the new growth it put off does not match the original tree anymore. So this is just kind of a generic redbud in my opinion. But the stake that I had used to stake it up, basically the wood had grown into all of the ties tying it up. Oh, it was a mess. So I had to get in here and literally cut the stake out of the tree to remove it so that this guy could breathe a little bit, and hopefully there's not too much damage to this tree. So after I finished in the garden, I've taken to just finding a place to sit for a while, think through what I did, take a few deep breaths, and enjoy the space, which is really nice. Giving myself breaks feels really great. I think I pushed it a little too far today because I was exhausted afterwards, and I'm not going for that exhausted feeling in the garden anymore. That's one of my new goals. Anyway, I hope you all had a nice, relaxing Mother's Day weekend. Thank you all so much for joining me once again. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.